What was it like back in the 80s, and what was it about your songs just kept generating hits after hits? I mean, what was the generation like?
It was a wonderful period in our career, certainly. And I think, in fact, I was in Australia yesterday before I came here, and I was talking to my brother-in-law about how, for me, because I'm old, the 60s was amazing because the Beatles, you know, fueled that decade. You know, the 70s was great. The 80s was, you know, I think it peaked, you know, and then the world got a bit more pessimistic and negative, and you know what I'm saying? So the 80s for me was a great period.
That was the high watermark?
I think so for me.
Because I was actually going to ask you in a similar, that same question, because has it gotten a little bit crazy? I mean, we see how concerts, I don't know about numbers might still be there, but there's a different approach, you would agree? It's changed in...
Oh, music, certainly. I mean, it's...
And how the audience participate?
Well, you know, we've found, because especially in this part of the world, the audience has grown up with us, so now that they're bringing their grandchildren to see us.
There was a lady in the dressing room here before we came on, and she said, I want you to see this, and it was a picture of her 2-year-old grandson, and he was singing all our songs. A video. I mean, we go, whoa, you know.
5,000 live performances, you said? What, does any one or two stick out? Any crazy story?
Well, we've been really lucky. We played in Cuba to 175,000 people.
275?
175.
Oh, 175, but still.
You're less impressed now?
Jeez.
We played for Prince Charles and Lady Diana at the Australian Bicentennial. We played for...
88.
Yep.
I was there.
Very good.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah. Well, not in the concert, but I was in Australia. I watched it.
We've played for, you know, royalty and done some things that I never dreamed of when I was a kid, certainly.
So that's probably a highlight there.
Yeah.
And Cuba?
Cuba was
175,000 people. What's that like to play in front of?
Well, actually,
how do you even play in front of?
Well, we came in on the verge of a very serious hurricane.
Dennis,
and so we didn't see the stage before we went on. They built this plastic tunnel. And I said to the promoter in the afternoon, how many people do you think will be here? And he said, probably 50, 60,000, which was amazing anyway. But when I walked out on stage, I actually stopped in my tracks and I went, holy cow. Because to the horizon was people. And it was raining non-stop, but they stayed and sang, and it was just one of the greatest experiences of our career, I think.
It was, yeah.
Well, going back to your songs as well, you said, I mean, I read somewhere that you could dish out a song in like 15 minutes or so, depending. Did it get more and more difficult as more and more hits started happening?
No, not really. You know, I was very lucky. I started writing songs when I was 11 years old. And I really didn't know what I was doing. So I've been doing it for a long time. You know, I think any songwriter, the first 100 or 200 songs you write are awful and terrible. It's like learning a language, you know, you struggle for a while. But in those days, it was always fun, and it's fun now for me to write a song, but I love it so much. And I can always tell when there's a song coming in. It's kind of like, you know, hello. And, but I love it. I really do. It's one of the greatest moments that I enjoy in life.
Do you still write songs?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing. Like, do you still write songs? And do you ever
write for other people?
Yeah. And do you ever think that, another follow-up question, do you think that you will get to write another song or songs that are like all out of love, make love?
You know, I never know, because I don't plan to write a particular song. Although in this musical they asked me to write a new song, and they gave me a scene, and so my parameters were quite. I had boundaries, you know, and I knew that this person was talking to that person, so I had to confine everything. But I really enjoyed that, and so you know, we wrote a new song, which is going to be our new single. So that was a nice experience for me, instead of having a wide canvas.
Could you give us a little sample or that new song? One line, or
I don't know this song.
Oh,
yet.
okay. What's it about?
No, seriously, I don't know it yet.
It's funny when I write a new song, you know, I always tell Russell about it, but I do a rough vocal on it first, and it's usually a piano or a vocal demo, and it's pretty rough. And it's only when Russell comes in that it really starts to, you see it. Do you know what I mean? And you go,
you give it life, Russell. You give it
Russell,
life.
you
use like...
One thing that I find incredible about your vocal range is just phenomenal. How do you prepare for that? How do you keep that up? That's
a mystery to me.
Really?
Yeah. My dad was a singer, and I think I inherited that gene from him. But you know, at this point in our careers, I just try to take care of myself and you know, look after it as much as I can. I don't sing in the morning.
No, no. Well, you know,
Russell.
it's